Hey, back with you again. Now, before I get started, it's going to be for something fancy in this video. So, if you're a parent with kids, please get your kids out of the room. Duh. And you only unpause it when your kids out of the room. Double duh. And those who are sub to me, you already know the drill. And this will be about Liam Neeson, the scumbag, who was interviewed by some journalist or reporter who basically tried to fucking downplay um Liam Neeson's white supremacy, and she'd even ask him no fucking hard questions. I would even question about his racism, try to downplay it and laugh it off. But she's now trying to backpedal. Their name is Clemence McKellen, and I don't give a fuck if I'm pronouncing her first and last name wrong because I don't give a fuck because this flamingo-looking bitch, tried to downplay a fucking white supremacist who plotted to murder innocent black people. And I don't give a fuck how long ago it was. That is still frightening and still fucking dangerous. So yeah. And as for Liam Neeson, he tried to go on an apology tour just yesterday, February 5th. Here's why, and especially like, out of all the days to do this, and how ironic. Here's why I say that, which I'll address it in the video later on. He talks about how he's not racist and shit like that and all that stuff. He, and tries to make a bullshit apology. But you know what, but I'm glad his ass is getting dragged. And also too, in his movie needs to be pulled out of the fucking movie theater. I mean, and also too, to brothers and sisters out there, we need to make an example of him to let him know you're not gonna fucking disrespect us. You're not gonna think you can let folks know you're not gonna shit on black people and think you can get away with that. Get away with it. That's the thing. For too long, they've been getting a fucking pass, and the worst part is people are trying to defend this fucker. But funny, weren't y'all like going around condemning Kevin Hart? But the only difference is Kevin Hart didn't talk about murdering people and shit like that. Especially was a quote unquote joke he did like 10 years ago, which he already apologized twice for it. But y'all want to go and defend the shitbag that plotted to murder black people over like 40 years ago, and he was plotting for a fucking week. Innocent random black people. I know you'll talk about, oh, but his close one was like someone was raped and shit like that. Okay, well, you should have been targeting the rapist. Find the right motherfucker. But no, he said he wanted to go and target a black bastard. So he was just going to target any random innocent black person or innocent random black people. And you don't see the fucking severity of it. And doesn't that sound very vaguely familiar? Especially why I keep so you'll find out why I keep mentioning February 5th. Why? And then of course, and you got these fucking sellouts, that are let's go rescue Massa. Whoopi Goldberg, all like, he's not a racist. And mind you, she was dating a shitbag that went to the award show wearing blackface, and she was just cheesing, think it was the funniest shit she'd ever seen. And then to top that, she shitted on Monique, and still hasn't apologized even after apologized to Monique after Monique was vindicated with the situation she was going through, and Monique was right to call her like in the nicest way possible a sellout, called her the help, and then you had John Barnes talk about Liam Neeson deserved a medal. Then you got Terry Crews, his buck dancing ass, who has a history of defending, Donald talked with Sterling, who talked about he didn't want black people at these football games. Then Gina Rodriguez, crocodile tears, anti-black ass crying because she was called anti-black because she got called out because she constantly shits on black people, especially black women, every like almost 24/7. Then tries to defend Adam Bennett, that piece of shit that sexually assaulted Terry Crews by grabbing him in the crotch right in front of his fucking wife. I will tell you this: He wouldn't have pulled that shit now with my husband. I mean, like I said, but for shits and giggles, like in the unlikely event, like I mean, but he knows who to do that shit to and who not to do that to. That rapist bastard. I will tell you this: had that been any other man, or did it any other couple, or he did that shit, did try to do it to my husband, there would have been a fight that night. Let's just leave it at that. If you try to pull that shit to my husband, and mind you, he did this rapist creep bastard did it in front of Terry Crews's fucking wife. Now Terry Crews. Now what if Adam Bennett like grabbed your wife by the boobs or the private parts or her ass? Would you just try to still defend him? I think you probably would, because but you have the nerve and audacity. But Terry Crews' nerve and audacity wants to talk about to talk about black men, toxic masculinity, and talk about slapping the shit out of black men. But you won't talk about slapping the shit out of this rapist motherfucker and this racist murderer and all the other shitbags you've defended. So let's see what Terry Crews said, and he's getting drugged for it. Terry Crews hooked up with and this is by Tariq Nasheed. What he said, he says Terry Crews hooked up with the white people who control #MeToo and went around on a quote unquote black people have a culture of toxic masculinity tour. But when Liam Neeson talks about going out and killing random innocent black people, Terry said, in quote, just a fork in the road. So here's the screenshot of what Terry Crews' buck dancing ass said. I believe that every person on earth is capable of the greatest good or unspeakable evil. Liam is just describing his fork in the road. You know that 40 years ago he would have just randomly murdered you. Would have randomly murdered your wife. Would have randomly murdered your children. And mind you, don't you have a son? And this is, I mean, with anything else, the one who deserves that slap is this guy and this fucking rapist. One, a racist murderer, and one, a fucking rapist or a creep. No, well, he's a creep and a rapist. But yeah, you won't go after those two, especially all the other people who all in common all have a history of shitting on black people. You know. And this is why these Westerners think they could just disrespect black people left and fucking right, because fuckers like you and Sellouts, you and you. Now, but here's the part that's really even got me even more fucked up. Out of all the people who actually called out Liam Neeson and called him for what the fuck he is, a racist murderer, and also condemned Liam Neeson. And guess what? Guess what? And also he called out the people who were trying to defend him, especially that John Barnes sellout ass, and other folks out there that's saying like he shouldn't be defended, and also said he's also basically saying like he says he can't believe that Liam Neeson's actually getting defended. And guess what? And the person who called out Liam Neeson and also asked a very question, like a very critical question, but he's called condescending for it, is Piers Morgan. So Piers Morgan is now, he condemned Liam Neeson. He called out John Barnes and other folks out there trying to rationalize and defend Liam Neeson being a racist, white supremacist, attempted murderer. And guess what? Now Piers Morgan is getting attacked for it. And then Piers Morgan asked a very crucial question. He said, had this been one of the actors of Black Panther that talked about randomly murdering white people, would he get this much praise? Would he get this much defense? Yeah, and now he's getting shitted on. Oh man, the fucking irony. This really got me fucked up. And is that saying that, broken clock is right twice a day? Yeah. And here's that case with this piece of shit that I can't even fucking stand. And and for one, he was actually right about something for fucking once. But I still can't stand the piece of shit that he is. But, I still can't stand him. Point blank period. And it's really got me, and folks out there got me fucked up that just like, dang. Out of all the people, out of all the fucking people to actually say it, it had to be him. You know? And I will post a link to the article about it. So, and also, too, the reason why I keep mentioning about February 5th and why people are trying to downplay the severity of it, you know, especially that this bitch, Clemens McCallan, which you can go and give your 2 cents to this bitch, you know, why she should never downplay like what Liam Neeson said, because yesterday on February 5th, I'm not 4th, February 5th, when Liam Neeson tried to do his little BS apology tour, talk about he's not racist and shit, guess whose birthday it was yesterday? Someone who would have been 24 years old. But sadly, remember what Liam Neeson talked about what he wanted to do 40 years ago? But except somebody actually went ahead and did it in 2012. Hold on. Trayvon Martin. He would have been 24 years old. He was just a kid, just an innocent kid who was just coming from the fucking store, and a wannabe white supremacist by the name of Fat Ass Zimmerman, you know the story, murdered him. And ever since then, Fat Ass Zimmerman was proven to be nothing but a fucking thug. And let's not forget that Fat Ass Zimmerman went to trial because he threatened to he basically made death threats. He threatened to murder a detective and his family. But y'all wanted to call Trayvon Martin the thug. Nope, the real thug has been and always been Fat Ass Zimmerman, George Zimmerman. And y'all trying to downplay why the severity, because Liam Neeson could have been that George Zimmerman 40 fucking years ago. Well, yeah, he attempted to be. But luckily, the only difference is, fortunately, no innocent black people got harmed or murdered by this piece of shit. And we need to have Liam Neeson's films pulled the fuck down. So call your theater, your AMC, your Cinemarks to have his new movie pulled off. Hey, y'all had no problem doing it in A. Parker? Let's do it to this shitbag, especially considering he wanted to harm and murder innocent black people. Not the scumbag that apparently harmed him. No, he said he just wanted to randomly murder black people. Just randomly, just random innocent black people. So fuck this motherfucker, and fuck the sellouts who are even trying to defend him.